Hey guys, Nathan here, and welcome back to the best of 21 series between TheViper and Jordan23. The score now lies currently at 7-6 to Jordan. This is going to be game 14, which is a pretty standard game actually. It's Arabia, and Arabia is something which we haven't seen for a very long time actually, because we've just seen so many really cool maps, so many really cool civs in this tournament, which is really nice to see. But now we have a pretty nice standard game. We have TheViper here playing as the Aztecs in teal down to the south of the map, and then we have Jordan23 playing as the Huns up to the very north in grey. So yeah, this is actually a fairly interesting matchup we've got here. Obviously we know that TheViper loves playing as the Mayans, so the Aztecs are kind of similar to the Mayans, I guess, in the same way that the Huns are kind of similar to the Mongols, which is what Jordan actually likes. So this is actually kind of cool to watch actually. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And my god, I'm actually missing all these standard games, all these Arabia Wars. I just haven't seen them for such a long time, and I've pretty much forgotten how they're played. No, I haven't. But even still, it's going to be pretty cool. After so many games of really wacky, really weird, but really cool games and matches and setups and all like that stuff, it's going to be cool to see how these guys play this one out and see if their previous games have influenced how they play in this game, in this particular game. We shall find out in just a bit, but TheViper playing the Aztecs, he's probably going to do a drush of some sort. He'd be pretty mad not to, considering that he has 100 gold right here, and Loom is free, so he probably should utilise that. But the thing is, Jordan will know that. He is, of course, not going to be such a newbie player, and of course, not assume that a drush is coming from an Aztec player. That'll just be suicidal. So he's probably going to try and do something of his own. He's probably going to try and wall up or something to try and counter the drush. And that would be a pretty good option for him, as drushes don't really work out so well to walls, obviously. But looking at TheViper's map, his map is looking okay, I guess. It's not so bad, but even so, it's pretty hard to get a good map on Arabia, especially Arabia, the normal Arabia. I think this is normal Arabia, Desert Arabia, okay. Which seems very similar to the normal Arabia, but I think there are smaller oases or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just the same, pretty much, I feel. But even so, he has got back gold, I guess. It's kind of on the side as well, but even so, it's not bad. Could be worse. For example, Jordan's gold is on the front, which is never a good thing to do. Well, never a good thing to have anyway. And he's got berries on the front as well, and stone, which is pretty bad. But since he's playing as Huns, he might not. Well, if he's playing as Mongols, he would definitely want to go with a castle. But since he's playing as the Huns, it's probably not going to be so likely unless he wants to do a castle drop or something like that, in which and stone is going to be important for him. And something just fell on my wall, which is kind of strange. And but yeah. Let's see if this drush comes. I think it's going to come, because we do see that he's got 4 villagers onto the wood right here, which, you know, it indicates that the drush is going to be incoming. And I've probably said this so many times before, but I'll say it again, yeah. Yeah, this should be cool. Let's see how Jordan's actually going to react with this. Okay, he's put 5 villagers onto wood, which is very strange. You know, 4 villagers is what you want for a drush, especially if you're playing as the Aztecs. The Huns can go for a drush, but man, 5 villagers on wood, that's pretty insane if you ask me. And he's going to be getting something out very soon. He might go for a barracks of his own, and he might just go for a drush of his own, or some sort of a counter drush to counter the Viper's drush, which should be incoming. He might plonk down a barracks right here, and is he going to do that? Is he going to do that? Is he? Come on, there we go. The barracks has gone up on the front right here, and Jordan's reacting, yeah, with the barracks of his own. Looks like it's going to be making some militia. In fact, he's putting some villagers onto the gold mine right here just to mine some gold. So yeah, I suspect that he's going to get maybe, I don't know, 3 militia out. He can only get 3 if he just mines from here once. And you know, 3 militia versus the 5 militia of the Viper is going to be pretty tough for him to try and defend against. I don't know what he's going to do actually. He might try to pull some villagers into the fight as well, but it's going to be pretty risky. You don't really want to do that, because you just get your villagers hurt, or worse, killed, which is never a good thing to do. But it looks like he's actually make some more militia, because he's going to be putting some more villagers onto the gold mine, which is you know, it's pretty insane if you ask me. But it's very, very interesting to see how he is going to play this out. He's making quite a few militia right now actually, and he might just make a few more. He's got these two guys on gold, so he might just try to make 5 militia, which it should be very interesting actually. In fact, he does have a good number, the right number of villagers just to sustain militia production, which is something you don't really see every day, to be honest. Sustaining militia production while you're mining gold, but this militia is going to go down very quickly because, you know, he's been moored at the backside by a wolf and he's being punched in the face by a woman. So yeah, it's not going to be so good for him. He's going to be losing. Well, he just lost 1 militia very quickly. But unlike Jordan, Viper's adding his scout with Eagle Warrior into the fight as well, which is something you should always try to do. But it does mean now that the Viper should probably win this fight actually. Although his Eagle Warrior is pretty damn hurt, it still means that he's going to be able to pick off Jordan's militia very quickly. And where is Jordan's scout? There we go. Yeah, the fact that he doesn't have any scout support is pretty bad, because look now, he's just losing quite a few militia. Although he's actually still producing lots more. In fact, he is. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes another one after this one, because he's still got quite a few militia in here. Still 3 militia left from the Viper, while Jordan probably lost about 3 right there. Viper lost 2, I think. So yeah, it wasn't so great for him. And now he's going to try and do some damage to his villagers. I'm not sure how many hits he's going to get on here. I don't think he's going to be able to kill one, that's for sure. But he could definitely try and snipe off that militia very quickly. But Jordan now, with a lone militia right here, he could try and counter against this with a scout wherever the scout is. It's right over here, which is just chasing, yeah, the Eagle Warrior, which has gone down, which is pretty good for him actually. But Viper probably would have done quite a bit of scouting actually. In fact, he did do a nice amount of scouting, but even so, lose your scout is never a good thing to happen to you. And Viper now kind of reluctant to try and engage. He doesn't really want to engage, but even so, having these militia in here is just an extra bonus, you know. They're probably not going to do a lot of damage, but even so, they are going to be an annoyance. They're going to be something which Jordan has to worry about, because if he doesn't keep an eye off them, then he's going to be able to, Viper that is, he's going to be able to do some damage, and in fact he is still doing some damage right here, and he might just, no, he's not going to get a villager, but even so, he's taken lots of health off these villagers. In fact, let's just see. Well, there's one villager which is fairly low, and in fact, yeah, he's pulled lots of villagers, or lots of weakened villagers onto the farms, which is definitely a very good thing to do. If you have weak villagers, you should probably put them onto farms, which are near the TC, so that once raiding comes in, you can easily garrison your weakened villagers into the TC, and so they'll be safe. So yeah, you have to be better safe than sorry. Yeah, there we go. But now Jordan is getting up to the feudal age in a pretty bad time, I have to say. But even so, it's kind of expected, considering how he's probably produced about 7 militia as well. So yeah. So currently, I think he's now on 28 population. There's this militia here and the scouts somewhere. Viper are going to try and forward this actually with 2 archer rangers, a double archer range as the Aztecs. Pretty nice stuff actually. But I would have seen that he would go for a fast castle of some sort. It may happen, but even so, a fast castle in Arabia is like, I don't know, it's like rushing on Black Forest. It's just so risky. You might just get killed. But there's this watchtower coming up. It's probably going to be, well, I say that's going to be denied, but no, it's not going to be denied anytime soon. Oh yes, it is actually. This watchtower going to be denied because there are so many villagers coming in here trying to punch these guys in the face, and this watchtower not going to go up anytime soon, Jordan. Yeah, he has to G to the B. And we have these 2 archer rangers right here, which should be pretty cool to see how the Viper's going to play this out. In fact, Jordan, does he see this? In fact, he does. He's seen one, and, well, he probably seen that he's going to he's going to have another Jordan Viper, that is, and he's going to respond with 2 archer rangers of his own. We're going to have a pretty long feudal war, actually, I feel, considering that both these guys are going to be producing skirmishes from 2 archer rangers, and yeah, in fact they are. So this is going to be pretty nuts, and in fact, Viper now probably going to try and take some villagers down. In fact, he might just take a few villagers, but even so, he doesn't really have enough numbers to try and take some villagers down, especially when the Viper is up against all of this. But the good thing is, he's got this watchtower right here, and this watchtower might go down, might go up, I have no idea, because we've got a messy mass of feudal age units right here, and well, Jordan is going to be driven off right here by Viper's villagers, and he's now using his scout to try and chase down these archers, and going to be picking off all of these skirmishes very quickly afterwards as well. This watchtower is probably not going to go up anytime soon, so this is going to be pretty bad for him. He's going to have to delete that, but even so, it's on 88%, so he probably won't be able to try. He's probably not going to try and delete that anytime soon, because he just can't get all that. He just can't get enough resource from that back. And now, oh, 98%, look at that. It's going to get battered down by these villagers. Or maybe not. And what's Viper going to do now? Because now he has very little military. And Jordan is just rolling here with these 3 villagers. And what's he going to do? Is he going to wall this up? If he walls this up, it's going to be... Oh man, look at that. He is going to be walling this up. What a lamer. But even so, you know, what can you do? But you know, with this up, it does mean that Viper is not going to get any villagers. I mean, any units out from here anytime soon. In fact, he could try to bust these out as quick as possible and try to take out his villagers. But I don't think he has really got a good number to actually do that securely, especially when there's so many skirmishes right here from Jordan as well. And well, he's come out right here, but you know, he's going to get killed off very quickly by these skirmishes, and he should have probably just left these guys in here into these archer rangers anyway. Maybe I waited until the castle age and just battered these guys, this down with rams and stuff. But now Jordan is going to be completely warming this up right here, and that's pretty bad for the Viper. It does mean that there's about 325-ish wood just wasted on here, because these archer rangers are now pretty useless, in fact. And there we go, that's the last passage wall up, and Viper cannot get any units out from these guys, from this archer range. And now he's coming around the back as well, or the side I should say, but he's not going to have so much luck, because these villagers killing them actually. One thing to notice is that these villagers, of course, they just don't have an attack stance, or stance even, so they just lie around being idle once they kill off of a skirmisher, which is you know, it's not so great. But Viper now in a bit of trouble actually. He's actually forced to put a watchtower in defense right here, just to keep his villagers secure. But Jordan now, where is Jordan's army? Well, it's right here. He's got a pretty nice army actually. He's going to be killing off these guys pretty quickly with a combination of archers and skirmishers. That's a pretty good combo if you ask me. But as we all know, the best combo in Age of Empires 2 in the feudal age would be scouts and archers, but that's just too expensive to really have actually, considering that scouts are just too risky, because they just reduce your, or in fact they just delay your castle time so much, just because scouts cost so much food, which is yeah, it's not so great. But I don't know about this, but Jordan now seems like he's going to probably do a castle drop of some sort, or maybe he's going to go with a tower. Oh, that would be great actually. He maybe would have wanted to do a tower right here, but we shall see what's going to happen, because now Jordan is going to be rolling in here with his pretty nice army actually, and Viper doesn't really have anything to defend against this apart from one watchtower and another one going up right on here on this hill as well. So he's going to make this area of eco very safe indeed, and in fact there's lots of villagers here, so it kind of makes sense, especially when you don't have so much to defend with, or so many units to defend with, and Jordan has to go back, otherwise he's going to get killed off by these watchtowers, which is never a great thing to have, do. But the Viper now with a lot of gold actually in the bank, and that's very interesting. I don't know why he's got so much gold. It's kind of strange. He might try to go with Eagle Warriors in the castle age, but that's pretty suicidal. Because number one, he's got such a big force right here, so much pressure put on right here on the outside of his base. Number two, Castaway Eagle Warriors aren't so great anyway. They just don't have the HP or Pierce armor. They're just not like Knights. They just can't really do the damage that Knights could do. But we've got a watchtower right here on the front for the Jordan, and he's going to be delaying or denying any farms right here, which is really good indeed, because now Viper's now forced with very little wood, or very little food actually, to actually get up to the castle wage. And in fact, he's probably just got enough farms to try just to sustain villager production. And in fact, yeah, he's probably not going to get to the castle wage anytime soon, but he's got a market right here, and he might just try to sell some resource, just to try and get to the castle wage, which, you know, is a pretty risky move if you ask me. That's pretty risky. But he's put a watchtower right here just to defend his eco just a little bit more. Jordan should probably try to move these guys in a little bit more and try and pick these guys off if he can. But he's still continuing to make these watchtowers around the Viper's base. Viper is running that with arch towers of his own, and in fact, yeah, he's got quite a few watchtowers up right here. One of the stone as well, just to defend against. And you know, it's kind of working actually. It's definitely driving the Jordan off of his lawn. But the thing is, he's still got quite a big. Jordan now still applying quite a lot of pressure on the Viper, and even though he's gone to the castle wedge, Jordan has as well. So yeah, that's going to be pretty risky for him, because now Jordan can get a crossbow, he can get all those lovely Hun stuff like crossbow, cavalry archers and all that jazz, and he's got a pretty nice army back at home as well. So I don't know how Viper's going to get back to this, and in fact, look at the score right here. We've got a pretty huge difference right here, 400 difference, which is pretty significant. And Viper now forced to take a lot of wood and a lot of gold as well. So what's he actually going to do in the castle wage? He could go for archers and crossbows, but you know, it's kind of risky considering that he's facing so many crossbows. Well, he's going to face so many crossbows from Jordan, and he's only got one archer range right here. But we must not forget that he's got these guys right here as well. And yeah, he is producing archers. He's still producing archers from these archer ranges. So a good thing for him to do was, once he gets to the castle wage, he should put down a siege workshop and maybe get out a ram or a mangonel, and mangonel is down, and then bust out these archers, which should be a pretty good thing for him to do. And it might just take Jordan by surprise, and it might just save him his ass, which, you know, is going to be really nice if he does that. But the thing is, Jordan now has a pretty sizable army right here, and in fact, where's his other army right over there? I can't see it, but even so, crossbow is on the way, and he's going to be putting up, yeah, a siege workshop, so probably going to make a mangonel, and he's probably going to try and mangonel this down, or this down anyway, and try and also take down as many archers with him. As Jordan gets the castle wage as well. So Jordan now probably going to get, well, definitely going to get a crossbow of his own, and he might, afterwards he might try and transition into cavalry archers. It's going to be a really nice thing for him to do, and of course, as a Huns, it does make a lot of sense. But this is going to be pretty nasty if Jordan doesn't see this, because the mangonel is now coming, and it's going to be pretty hard for Jordan to actually try and micro against a mangonel. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Viper goes for a second mangonel, and it should be pretty hard for Jordan to try and micro. Sure, he does have a lot of units right here, but even so, it just means that he can lose a lot of units. Potentially, he can lose the entire of his army to just one mangonel alone. So that's going to be pretty risky for him. But looking at the population, Jordan has a pretty nice lead. He's definitely got the advantage in army, just because he's got so many units right here, and he's still producing units here as well. He's got 4 knights, and so looks like he's going to try and take out the mangonel. He probably will assume that he's going to get Viper's going to make a mangonel, and in fact, yeah, he's making another one right here. So 2 mangonels are on the way right here, and is he going to make a third? Is he going to make a third? In fact, he is. Momentarily housed right there, but you know, what can you do? But these knights are going to be pretty bad, because Viper doesn't really have a huge number of crossbows to try and deal with the knights that Jordan has got. And in fact, with this huge army right here, you know, if these knights come, which they They seem to be actually. I can't see them anymore. Where are they? Yeah, there they are. Sure, they don't have that many upgrades on them, but they could easily destroy these mangonels in such a swift stroke. And yeah, it should be really bad for the Viper, because now Viper's forced to try and go back, but even so, he's going to probably lose all 3 of these mangonels. He's going to try and attack ground, but it's not going to work because a knight just has too much HP, and yeah, these guys are going to get taken down so quickly, and that was pretty bad from the Viper, and very good from Jordan as well. Look at that. All 3 mangonels gone down in an instant, and this forward siege workshop right here as well, and Viper now is going to be losing his army pretty soon. He's just bust out these crossbows right here just in sheer desperation, I think, and he's probably going to lose his army right here as well, because there are just too many guys to deal with. And quite a few knights as well, just to act as a meat shield, because you know, they have got +2 defense and not bot arrow. What am I talking about? And bloodlines as well. So yeah, this is going to be it's kind of bad for the Viper, I have to say. A forward siege workshop here as well, and you know, whenever you see a forward siege workshop from a player, it does mean that they're feeling pretty confident. But man, he might just lose this villager right here, which could be pretty bad. And Viper's probably going to assume that there's going to be a forward siege workshop very soon, but this villager is going to be safe for the time being. And Jordan now with a pretty nice lead in army, and a pretty nice amount of resources as well. And the Viper's left with only monks left right here, and there's some knight raiding going on, but they will get taken. Well, in fact, they will get converted by these monks, which are, you know, Aztec monks, and you know, he's going to go with monks, which is going to be good for knights. But considering that Viper has seen how many crossbows that Jordan's got, it's going to be pretty nasty for him. And now we've got this forward siege workshop right here as well, so this could be kind of bad. You know, you just can't really face crossbows and mangonels with just monks alone. It's just not the way to go. You just need some backup, I guess. And Viper's now forced in a really tiny spot. He's forced to put with his farms in such a terrible position, and he's just confined into such a tiny space, which is really bad, in fact. Viper now has absolutely no map control whatsoever. It's all been given to Jordan, and Viper now probably going to try and get a castle up if he can, and in fact he is getting more stone. A castle is going to be the only thing that's going to be between him and probably just defeat, actually, I have to say, because Viper is certainly down, but he's not out yet. He's still got a bit of a fight in him left, and well, what's Jordan going to be adding in? Because at the moment he's not got anything in here, which you know, it's kind of strange. He should make a mangonel or something like that, or well, yeah, a mangonel would be very nice for him. But he's not really going to attack anytime soon. He's going around here with a ram and a couple of knights. This should be pretty good, because now the Viper has got a pretty nice eco to be harassed right here, and this could all be taken down very quickly with just one battering ram their own. I said that word really strangely, like battaram, and yeah, but this could be bad for the Viper. I've said that so many times, but even so, it's I don't know what to say really, because well, I don't think that Jordan should actually leave this battaram here alone, because he could get taken down by the villagers so quickly, and he really needs some knight support, because oh my god, one ram is going to get taken down by these villagers and this mangonel, and in fact that's what Jordan's going to be, Viper's going to be doing. Or he's going to try and garrison it in there, and he might just actually take a villager out, his own villager out, if he's not careful, but he's not going to do that. And yeah, that was not so great from Jordan, but Jordan now with a pretty nice amount of knights here, and yeah, this is going to be pretty bad. A town centre has been denied by Jordan here. Viper's trying to get a TC right here on this gold, has been denied, so that's not so great for him. And yeah, it's just really painful to watch, because Viper's has just got such a little space just to maneuver around, and Jordan has in the entire world the entire map even in his control, in Fermia's control, and he's just expanding across the map, taking the gold, or at least just trying to take the gold anyway, wherever he can. And Jordan now with a pretty imbalanced league, I have to say. 10k, well not 10k, 1k gold, and not so much of anything else. But he is probably feeling pretty confident right today, building a watchtower on this on here just to deny Viper some resource. Viper, does he see this? He probably should see this actually. He does indeed, and he's going to try and village rush this. You know, 3 villagers versus 4 villagers is pretty nasty, but it's even more nasty when you have these knights right here. It's going to be rolling in here and killing things. And Viper going to the Imperial Age in a pretty, yeah, this is kind of strange actually. He's going to the Imperial Age, which kind of makes sense of Aztecs, but it doesn't really make sense when you've got so much against you right here. The odds are against you. The gods are against you, Jordan's against you. That's pretty bad for him. And although he has these monks right here getting some conversions, which is pretty nice actually, these crossbows are what's killing everything. And yeah, this mangonel probably not going to last very long actually, because there are just still so many knights around. And that, yeah, it's gone down, which means that Viper is going to be kind of screwed when it comes to these crossbows. But he's just got so many. Well, look at this. Viper has got a pretty confined space, which also means that Jordan is going to be finding it pretty hard to try and maneuver around and try and micro around, because there's just so much space, and it's kind of like a death trap actually, I have to say. Viper now making Eagle Eyes, which is going to be a good thing for him to do, especially once he's in the, well, now he's in Imperial Age. So he should try to upgrade to Elite Eagles. He does not have the resource yet, because, well, it just costs so much. But there we go. Elite Eagle Warrior is done right now, and now he's setting chainmail armor. These Elite Eagles going to be really nice actually. They're kind of like knights, I guess, but just without their HP, I guess. But the thing is, they just don't stand against knights at all, because knights just have too much. Look at that. 120 HP against 60, 10 plus 1 attack against 9 plus 1 eventually, and 2 armor against pretty much 0 armor. So yeah, they're not like nice at all, to be honest. But even so, Jordan now, well, he has got a lot of resource, but he's probably going to try and end this in the Castle Age, just because he just wants to. Yeah, there we go. Viper's now saying GG, and I was going to say just because he wants to keep on pushing the pressure on, or applying the pressure on, and in fact he is. He's doing a pretty good job of it. Although Viper has just gone to the Imperial Age, it doesn't matter, because Jordan has just confined him in such a tiny space right there. He's just can't maneuver around. Look at that. Just look at the minimap. He's got such a solid wall, a solid base, and it's just so dense right here, so densely populated. And the thing is, Jordan now with a pretty nice eco at the back, very nice base. I didn't actually really pay attention to his base because all the action's right here, but look at that, 5 stables, that's 6 even, that's pretty nuts if you ask me. But even so, that was pretty nice from Jordan, and there we go, that was game 14. The score is now 8-6 to Jordan. This has been game 14, and I'll see you guys in game 16. I mean, 15 even. I'll see you guys in game 15. Bye!